Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mindy. This is See Mindy Mom, and I thought that I would try to get back on the wagon filming some what's for dinner videos. This is where I just show you guys what we're having for the week. We're in summer mode, and we keep it pretty casual where dinners are concerned. We throw a lot of stuff on the grill. A lot of times we just do like sandwiches or nachos. We do stuff that we can eat multiple nights in a row. Occasionally I'll pull the crock pot out. I have been kind of out of commission for a few weeks because I had surgery, but I am feeling a lot better. I still get run down and tired pretty easily, but I am trying to kind of get back on the bandwagon, not just with cooking and making meals at home, but also with kind of keeping my calories and my food intake under control. So I thought that I would just try to film this week if I could. It'll just be part of the week because it's already Tuesday. We did a grocery haul yesterday, and you should have already seen that on my channel. And tonight I'm going to make crunch wraps. Now, I have seen this on several different videos. I've seen it on Pinterest, and the concept is really easy. It's sort of a takeoff of a Taco Bell thing. And you take a tortilla, a big tortilla, and you put some queso on it, some jar queso. If you watch my channel, you know that's pretty much a staple in my house. And it's not as bad caloric or even WW points as you would think. So you take a little bit of that queso, you spread it on the tortilla, you top it with some meat. I'm using ground beef that I browned and then seasoned with taco seasoning tonight. And then you put a tostada shell on top of that, and then you spread a little bit of sour cream over the tostada shell, and then you can top it with whatever toppings you want. I used a little bit of salsa and some shredded cheese on my kiddos. I left that off of my own. And you can put lettuce. I used lettuce last night, but I just didn't bother chopping it up tonight. So you kind of top it with whatever you want, and then you carefully fold the tortilla over the top of itself. You just take the bottom part up and you fold it over, and it just makes this nice ring around the tostada shell. And then I just used a little nonstick spray in my skillet. You drop it into the skillet face down with that nonstick spray, and it gets nice and crunchy. It doesn't take very long, like maybe less than a minute on each side. You flip it over, and voila, you have a crunch wrap. So that's what we are having tonight. We've been eating in shifts. Actually, my son and I have already had ours, and I'm getting ready to make them for my daughter and my husband. My daughter has gymnastics, and so she doesn't get home until a little later. So I'm gonna make hers and my husband's. And for my husband and I used these Olay Extreme Wellness Wraps, the high fiber wraps, which are only 1 smart point on Weight Watchers and only 50 calories, as opposed to using the big giant burrito tortillas, which are 200 tortillas, which are 200 calories. But that's what we're having tonight, and I gotta tell you, it was absolutely delicious and definitely something that I will be making from now on because it was pretty easy. It's mostly stuff we already have on hand, and so yummy. There you have it, crunch wraps. Hey you guys, it's Thursday, and I forgot to turn the camera on last night and show you what we had for dinner. It was a really busy day. It was a fun day. I vlogged it, so I'll try to link that up here in the corner for you if you want to see why I was so busy and I didn't think to pick up the camera with dinner. But it was just kind of a real typical summer dinner for us. We grilled a big batch of chicken. That whole 4-pound package of chicken breasts I grilled, or my husband grilled for me. And then we just had some veggies that he threw in the grill basket, some zucchini and squash, and some corn on the cob, which we also do on the grill. We roll it up in foil. The chicken breast, I did 2 different kinds. I actually cut all the chicken breasts in half, so I kind of butterflied them. And then I put half of them in a marinade, a garlic herb marinade, just a store-bought one. And the other half, though, is the one that turned out the best. And my husband and even my parents who came later that evening said as much. And I'm telling you, the secret is to brine the chicken beforehand. And so I put the other half of the chicken breast in a saltwater brine for several hours, and then I just used a spice rub. The recipe is from Skinny-ish Dish, I believe, and it's really for baked chicken, but it worked great on the grill too, so I'll link that in the description box. So sorry I don't have any pictures to show you of that. I just have a little quick clip of my husband at the grill grilling stuff, but I've shown you guys that before. But the great thing is that it yielded lots of leftover chicken breasts, so tonight we are going to have that on some salads, and I'm going to make some Caesar salad dressing from scratch. I found a recipe online. It is from saltandlavender.com, and it's called Easy Caesar Salad Dressing. It does not use anchovy paste. It just uses grated Parmesan cheese, mayo, sour cream, or plain Greek yogurt, lemon juice, which I don't have any of, but it just calls for a teaspoon, so I'm going to sub some vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, garlic, and salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to whip some of that up right after I get my romaine lettuce washed and lay it out on a towel to dry so that I can chop that up. And then we will just put that on a bed of lettuce with a little cheese, and it's hopefully this Caesar salad dressing turns out great, and we'll have ourselves some chicken Caesar salads tonight, which will be yummy and refreshing on a warm summer evening. Okay, everybody, I've got my helper here, and we are going to make a cake. It is just 2 ingredients, and this isn't anything new. I've seen it around Pinterest for years. I just have never tried it. All it is a cake mix and a diet soda, and I'm just intrigued by it. So I've got my helper here. Isn't he cute? He is going to mix the cake up for us, and then we'll pop it into the oven. And then I am going to try to come up with something to frost it with later. So here we go. Let's try it out, Brick. There you go. Dump it all in. Dump it all into the bowl. Make sure it all gets in there. Just pour the Sprite in now. Pour the Sprite in. It's going to bubble up. Okay. Now you can start stirring it really gently, though.
Why?
Just gently so that you don't make more bubbles. Stir it real gently, and then the bubbles will calm down. Okay, while he is finishing stirring that up, I just got my cake pan out, and I'm just going to spray that with a little nonstick spray. And then we'll pour the batter in, and we will pop it into a 350-degree oven. Let's see what the box says. I'm going to set my timer. It says 34 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes and check it, and then probably 5 or 10 more minutes after that. Okay, to make the quote-unquote icing, I'm just using 1 container of frozen whipped topping. I let it thaw a little bit, and 1 package of sugar-free vanilla pudding mix, and I just put that into my bowl, and I'm just going to mix that up with my hand mixer, and then I will put it into the fridge to let it set and just see what the consistency is. I might have to add some milk to it too, because it may set up too thick, but we'll see. The cake just came out of the oven, and it looks pretty decent. Actually, it baked up pretty nice. I can't imagine it would be that moist because there's no eggs or oil in it, but we'll see. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit, and then I will top it with that faux frosting that I made. It is in the refrigerator right now setting up. The faux frosting did set up really nicely. In fact, it was a tad thick for me to spread onto the cake without tearing it, so I had to thin it out with just a little bit of milk. So if I did this again, or if you are going to try this, I would recommend making up the faux frosting right when you are ready to immediately pour it onto the cake. So after the cake has cooled, go ahead and make the faux frosting and then pour it onto the cake, and then pop the whole cake into the fridge so that the frosting will actually set up on the cake. Hopefully that makes sense. I think that would have been much easier to spread at that point, and then it would have set up into that thicker texture in the fridge while it was already on the cake. Okay, Brick is gonna taste the cake. Brick, you'll have to let us know if it's any good. McKenna says. He's thinking. You say thumbs up, it's okay? You'll eat it? All right. Mommy had a piece. I thought it was pretty good. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Saturday and we have had a very good Saturday. It's been a good mix of rest and productivity. Sorry, the washer and dryer going in the background. But it's time for me to whip up something for dinner. I was going to have my hubby grill some fish tonight with veggies, but we just decided that something else sounds better. So I'm going to make like a Mexican cauliflower rice and beef cheesy casserole type thing, except I think I'll just do it one pot on the stove. So I have already browned my hamburger, my ground beef, and it is draining. So I set it aside and I'm getting ready to make my Mexican cauliflower rice. This is from jessicagavin.com. I have made this multiple times. It's a tried and true recipe for my family, even if we aren't trying to watch what we're eating or whatever, we just really like it. I always have the recipe, but I will of course leave that linked in the description box below. It's really easy, it's very tasty, and I'm gonna whip that up and then I'll show you what I am going to do to combine some other ingredients with that and make a yummy one-pot dish that is really versatile. Okay, my cauliflower rice is done, and I have made this Mexican cauliflower rice several times on my channel before, so I didn't give you a step-by-step, but just follow the directions on the recipe that is linked in the description box. To that, I'm going to add my browned ground beef. I used a pound that I then browned before I put it in. And now I'm going to add just a little bit of taco seasoning to give it a little flavor, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to the pot as well to help that dissolve. After that, I will toss in a can of Rotel. You could just use regular tomatoes if you want. And then I had some black beans, about half a can or so, that I had used on salads earlier in the week, and so I'm just going to go ahead and use this as an opportunity to use those up. I will give all of this a really good stir, and then I'm going to pop the lid back on and just let it kind of heat through. I just have it on kind of a low medium heat. I just wanted to heat back up again. You could put it in a casserole dish and pop it into the oven if you wanted. And I also sliced up some zucchini and some squash that I had in the refrigerator that we needed to use up. I just put it onto a cookie sheet that I line with foil, and I pour a little olive oil over it, sprinkle some salt and pepper on it, and pop it into the oven to roast at 350. I'm also going to slice up a watermelon because is it really a summer meal if you don't have watermelon? The watermelons are starting to get really good. They're coming into season here in Oklahoma, and a little fun fact for you guys, watermelon is actually the official state vegetable of Oklahoma. Yes, you heard that right. It's the official state vegetable. Now that my casserole has heated through, I'm just going to give it one more good stir. I can see the steam rising from it, so I know it's nice and warm. And then I'm going to top it with a little bit of shredded cheese. I'm just using a Colby Jack, but you can use whatever cheese you fancy on this kind of dish. I'm just putting a little bit on it because people will add extra cheese if they want it. I'm going to pop the lid back on that, and then the heat from the dish will, of course, let the cheese melt because I went ahead and turned off the stove at that point. So now it is ready to go. I am just going to serve that up for the kids and for my husband and me. For the children, they're having theirs with some chips. They didn't even need utensils. They just used the chips to dip into the casserole. My younger daughter likes sour cream. My son does not. They had some watermelon as well. You could also serve this in tortillas if you want, and it makes some great nachos. My husband and I decided that we would have ours just plain. I did put a little extra cheese and some sour cream on the side of mine, and then I just have a side of the zucchini and squash. And there you have it, you guys. That is going to conclude this What's for Dinner with the Dennisons video. Thanks so much for stopping by. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are eating or if you have some ideas that you think my family might enjoy. See you next time. Bye.